Hello, dear listeners. Gong Jiao is back, and just in time for Halloween. We've got some pretty scary, heavy subject matter lined up for you. No, I'm kidding, lah. It's our usual Jiao. So enjoy part one of our Halloween special comeback podcast. And let's let the ghosts and ghouls close on in to seal your doom. Okay, bye. Enjoy part one. Hey, welcome to Gong Jia Hui. Hey, we're finally back, season 2.
We
back
switch.
once
We have
a
a
motherfucking
role
day.
reversal.
Yep. Now I do the intro,
I'm the chicken voice.
and Guy makes chicken noises. Fuck, it's been a long time, man, since we
How long?
did this.
A year? No. Actually, when was the last time we?
Season 1 ended officially, like, was it June? Or was it July or August? No,
June.
I think somewhere around there, right?
Maybe June.
I think we had like a 3-month break.
June. Three to 4 months.
Yeah.
3 to 4 months.
About there, right? Yeah. That will make it around June or July.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
what has been happening with you?
Very interesting stuff. I mean, it's actually why we kind of took a break, because we wanted to figure
Need
out
some me
where. Need some me time.
To
figure out.
self-develop.
Yep. And,
to figure out other aspects of our lives.
Yeah, very important. Self-reflection, my friends. No lah, cause I'm busy as fuck, man. The exam period was spiking. You have everybody coming back from like COVID and lockdowns and all that. And so in school generally, I feel like everybody's underprepared. Because of this whole.
What do you mean unprepared?
like
Like the students or like the
the
teachers?
students.
Okay.
The students. The teachers kind of like I guess they are trying their best, but also uncharted waters.
Yeah.
Like suddenly
So
3
I used
months.
to teach in person,
Yeah.
but now I gotta.
Yeah, I gotta do all this weird shit.
Yeah.
Class.
Who would have thought education would have accelerated to this stage already?
Yeah.
There's always that push for like virtual learning
Right.
and everything, and then now this is it.
Yep.
You get thrown off the deep end and you need to execute this.
Yeah.
And see whether it works.
I think that's what needed to accelerate the whole technological process.
Yeah. You have
Some
like
shit
your
has to go down.
contactless payment. or
Yeah,
your
exactly.
Pay now, pay lah.
Yeah, finally everywhere you go, you can pay now, pay lah, contactless payment and all that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so I think we are all reeling from COVID. It's kind of dying down now. It's not really a threat anymore,
Yes.
but we still can't do a lot of
And
things.
for those who survived,
Yeah.
now it is your time to emerge out of your chrysalis
yeah.
and figure out what this next phase of life is gonna be. Phase 3.
Yeah.
PS phase 3,
Yeah.
please.
Phase 3 of
Start.
life.
Like giving us some plans, man.
Yeah, do away with the 5 people thing, man. I want to hang out with larger groups. I want to meet all of my classmates also.
And give all of them COVID. Free
Hopefully
sample
not.
for all of you.
COVID party.
Fuck that.
Yeah, it was a thing, right, in US?
It was a thing. People just get together because it's the new and hot thing, man.
Yeah, to just kena COVID.
Yeah. Last time was AIDS party, right?
Yeah, I think
Was
that.
it even there was such a thing, right?
Yeah, there was such a thing.
Yeah, something about people who want to drag people into the water.
Yep, and the people who want to be dragged into the water, like they love the thrill of possibly getting the disease or possibly fucking up your entire existence. It's a very extreme version of self-destructive behavior, I think. Right? Like
Sadistic in a way.
yeah,
Also.
it is. But the gains is maximum, the dopamine rush, the
Right. I was gonna ask like why
like,
gains?
why gains,
Why
right? not gains in muscles, but this one is the gains in the chemical concoctions your brains are producing. Yeah,
But in terms of effects,
like effects.
if you end up with net zero, you're fine.
Yep,
Right.
correct. Yeah,
The only way you lose is like going negative, which is you die
Yeah.
and you get some sort of disease
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah, correct. I mean,
It's
you
a
have
negative
to
sum game.
you have to take the gamble, right? If you wanna attain such pleasures.
Yeah, why people so fucked up?
I don't know.
Can you explain?
I don't know.
After the few weeks in school.
Yeah, so yeah, that's another thing. We also took a break because I started school. So I'm now studying to be a psychologist. Right? I'm taking a double major in criminology and psychology.
Yeah, don't ever look this guy in the eye when you're talking to him, because he'll just psychoanalyze the shit out of you.
No.
I know you got fucked up childhood.
I
I know whatever kinks you have.
yeah. So I try to figure people out that way. No. Actually, I think that's like an important thing that you brought up, like psychology, right? It's quite dangerous and quite I don't know. What's the word? Like unnerving in a way. Like if you are not careful with using the things that you've learned, you can seriously harm yourself and the people around you, right? Like I remember.
Enter famous Spider-Man quote here. I'm not gonna say it out, but
okay.
you know
why
what it
copyright?
No,
No,
I just don't want to say it.
Just don't want to say it because it's too cliche.
Yeah, it's so cliche. I don't want to say it.
So we just
I just say Spider-Man quote. You know what it is already.
Yeah, you know what it is.
I don't even have to spell it out. Man.
Yeah, exactly. Now we just now what we need to do is we just need to keep talking about this Spider-Man quote and then just not say it.
And then it becomes our quote.
No, that's gonna irritate the shit out of everyone.
Okay.
Like
okay.
So
I'm not gonna say
not trying to irritate. And that's actually to do with the there's this concept called presque vu. It's like deja vu, Presque vu is another kind of vu, which is the feeling that you have when you know that word, you know that fucking word, but then it just won't come out. Like your brain is just it's at the tip of your tongue, and then the brain's just like throwing out all the words that are surrounding it except for that word, right? Yeah. Right. It's quite an interesting brain phenomenon because like what you're doing is you're actually trying to say the word, you have it already, but your brain just wants to help you by throwing out other words associated with this word.
But why they cannot throw the correct one out?
Yeah, because the brain just knows like it wants to help you. Don't know how to help.
Actually like don't have the ability to help.
Exactly. So shut the fuck up, brain. Okay, let me handle this shit.
Just let me zone out and
figure out the goddamn word. Yeah, so no, I don't know why I brought presque vu up, but yeah. So anyway, psychology, right? You learn a lot, and you have to learn how to kind of switch it off sometimes. The psychoanalysis, I guess, or looking at everything from this this perspective from time to time, but it's
not
easier.
A fun way to live day-to-day life, right?
Yeah, if you're just sitting down constantly thinking about like the possible traumas that individuals have had and why they choose to function and behave a certain
you're just
way.
Trying to dig for shit, man.
And and then you just I mean, it's interesting because you have the ability to do it, right? And so you kind of understand people better, or you switch it onto yourself and then you
self-reflect.
Yeah, you self-reflect, you start to understand yourself better, but then that comes with a price.
Pity.
Yeah, that, right?
you go into depression.
Yeah, you need to know how to handle that. Like if you did have a traumatic experience when you were younger or anything like that, if you want to look into these things and if you want to open up that can of worms, you got to be prepared to deal with this can of worms. Yeah, so that. But yeah, it's been a pretty interesting journey so far, meeting all my classmates.
In person?
Very sadly, no. That's why I want this 5-man thing to fuck off.
Right. I was trying to put some information out.
What?
Get you to admit
what?
Met them in person.
That I broke the law, is it?
Yes,
above five gathering. No.
What's this?
Only online. Okay. Okay. Where were we? About psych and lessons and taking a break from Gong Jiao Wei.
Yes.
And
we
actually
brainstorm more Jiao
Wei. We trying to bring up more Jiao Wei for y'all to listen to. But we also want to keep it Jiao Wei-ish and not get too deep about it.
Yeah, so we'll give wrong information from time to time.
Yeah, so y'all
spice things up a bit.
Okay. This is not what's it, POFMA? Is it POFMA?
What POFMA?
Protection of False Information
uh.
Online Act. What?
I mean,
what's the name of the thing?
Nobody's gonna take us seriously enough to.
Yeah, I mean, we need to disclaimer lah. This is not serious. So y'all do your fact checking, okay? Practice homework for y'all.
Yes.
Right. So don't believe everything you hear.
Mm-hmm.
All right. No lah, kidding lah. Okay, we will try to give you best info, maximum best.
Yeah. By the way, Amos Yee is an extraterrestrial who has landed in Singapore. That's why he does all that weird shit.
Yep. this dude, what the fuck, man? Like.
Yeah. Okay. Since we're talking about psych and we're talking about Amos Yee,
okay,
shall we try and psychoanalyze him?
Psychoanalyze Amos Yee. Okay.
Yeah, through his actions.
Let's go. Actually, we know quite a bit of history already about this kid.
What?
Right? I mean,
I never go and dig his part.
He was a star, right?
He appeared in a Jack Neo movie.
Yeah, like
I think
小孩不笨 or some shit.
Yeah, I think,
older than that.
It's one of the newer.
Oh, really?
Not the first.
The first ever one.
Yeah,
right?
I think it was like.
Shit, how long ago is the first ever? I'm not stupid. Came out in 2002.
Sec 1.
Sec 1, yeah. We were in Sec 1.
No, primary 6.
Yeah, see, primary school. Yeah. Yeah, I think Amos Yee haven't even born yet.
Yeah, no.
Wait, no. Now he's 21. Calculations. Yeah, no, he would have been born. He born 1999. Right, if he's 21. Yeah, my math. Don't fail me. Yeah, correct. But 3 years old, how to act?
He's 21?
He's 21.
21 this year?
Like this year, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I had to check up his age because of the whole pedophilia thingy.
Why? You scared when you...
No, like
his content.
I wanted
then his content is considered like child porn.
Well, they're all as in watching his shit. No. I'm not scared because of myself. I wanted to see like how old. Okay. Anyway, if you all don't know, right, Amos Yee recently in US got caught for possession of child pornography because he was chatting up a 14-year-old girl on this like site where you go to chat up 14-year-olds and it's filled with pedophiles and shit like that. Yeah, I guess that's the name of the fucking site. So vulnerable young teenagers will go to these places and then not vulnerable but predatory older individuals will then go to these sites to pick them up and to chit chat with them. And like, so he coerced the girl into, well, not coerced, maybe it's not the right one. I mean, I don't know the details of the case, but yeah, he kind of persuaded. His charm. Yeah, Amos Yee charm,
With that Amos Yee charm.
The finally Lee Kuan Yew is, this Amos Yee charm. Yeah, send me nudes. Okay, so yeah. So anyway, he persuaded this 14-year-old girl to send him nudes and they exchanged like thousands of messages, sexually explicit and all that. And eventually the relationship went sour and...
I wonder how that could be.
Yeah, right? With such a sweet, wonderful voice. But yeah, so the whole thing went sour and the girl approached this organization that aims to fight these kinds of practices, these chat rooms and all that. I think there's a name for that. I cannot remember, like Angel something or like.
I think there's a pedo word in there.
Group,
like they just directly.
Pedo Defender. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, yeah, but anyway, it's this organization I remember seeing it on a few Dateline NBC episodes, right, with Chris Hansen.
That's an awesome show.
Yeah, man, it's so, oh my god, the reactions of all the pedophiles when they go into and they see Chris Hansen walking out. Hello, so what are you doing here? Yeah, but anyway,
but I mean, to them, it's not a wrong thing, right? To the people doing it, I don't think it's
to the pedophiles.
Aware. Are they aware?
They are definitely aware. It's against the law by now.
Right?
Like you have to live in some kind of. Like not even a cave, man. Even if you live in a cave, this information will reach you.
Yeah, okay. I think they definitely know.
Yeah, they definitely know. It's how
control.
Yeah,
they control.
They choose not to. I think. Like okay, okay. This is actually really interesting. Like I watched this 60 minutes documentary or 60 seconds. You know that Australian documentary.
Yeah.
60. seconds?
60 seconds.
60 seconds. And
60 minutes.
60 minutes.
Yeah.
60
minutes.
minutes.
1 minute finish.
Yeah, but this one not Nas Daily, no, this one documentary. Okay. But yeah, so I remember like there was this episode where they actually featured pedophiles that came out. That they say that they are pedophiles,
Right.
and they actually.
So what color are they on the flag?
I don't think
They
of
don't
color
deserve
this
a
one.
color.
Yeah, cannot. This
No
one
color for
under
you.
the radar, you know. No color.
Okay.
But yeah.
Is that insensitive
What?
to
That,
the LGBTQ
that we mentioned
community?
that pedophiles
Yes.
are part of the LGBTQ. That's interesting. Would you consider them a sexuality?
So that's where the word deviancy should come into play, right?
Yeah, and the thing about pedophiles cannot be classified under that because, like, it's
Under deviancy.
under deviancy, of course, it's
Okay.
a sexually deviant
Right.
behavior, but
Right.
like it's not a sexuality. It's a deviant behavior that
So it wouldn't even be classified under sexual deviancy. It's just behavioral. It's just straight up deviancy.
I mean, it is involving sexual stuff, lah. So, sexual deviancy, I guess, falls under. But behavior-wise, also because you clearly know that society forbids like underage sex or an adult having sex with an underage person. So, if you choose to defy that law, then it's also antisocial behavior, right? To some extent.
Yeah, going against the.
Yeah, going against what is socially acceptable and what's by the law. I wouldn't really put them under a flag or color or say that they're part of this whole, they're just like misunderstood sexually.
Okay, I retract
confused.
what I said.
Yeah, but they're fucked up lah in the head, and they need help. They need fucking help. That's what they need.
Right.
But it's so difficult. And okay, back to the 60-minute documentary. And this is why this individual lives. So the y'all can check out the documentary. It's like this guy. He lives in New York, I think, and he's come out as a pedophile. And he is. I think they call themselves the righteous.
Jeez. Whenever people call themselves righteous, it's usually
okay, maybe that's not the term. I'm remembering it wrongly. 60-minute pedo. Okay, let's see.
60-minute pedo. You better don't anyhow search.
No, I don't want Jeffrey Epstein. Fuck Jeffrey. That's another asshole. But yeah.
But that one's considered. That one considered pedo. That's like grooming, right?
I mean, it's part of the pedophilia thing also, grooming, right? To
brush the hair, the nails.
Bathe the dog. No, not that kind of grooming. But yeah, akin to that because you carefully construct, behavior to manipulate the individual into doing things that you want them to do because they are just too young and emotionally vulnerable to understand what's happening, at an adult thinking level because they're not adults.
I mean, that's when psychology becomes like a weapon, right?
How so?
Like a weapon used for bad shit. Because you know how the mind works, reward systems, all those. You know what gets to people, then you manipulate them into doing what you want. So isn't that when psychology is considered? What's that word? Now it's happening to me. Malicious.
Malicious.
Now it becomes a tool used for malicious.
Oh, like if you're equipped with the
like,
skills to do it. Yeah, it's fucking dangerous. It's a very disturbing kind of sexualization. Actually, so I've encountered some of these like very weird interactions that I've had with people when discussing my occupation, and it's like red flag maximum, like obviously these are people I don't socialize with, but
Right.
once in a while I bump into certain individuals lah. And then you have a conversation with them about what you're doing in life and all that. And I tell them like I teach like secondary school and primary school kids, and it's both I mean it's mainly tuition in classrooms, and I do private and all that kind of stuff. And then their immediate go-to is like, wow, hey, the girls and yeah, and then I'm like, wait, what the fuck?
Yo.
Like, why are you sexualizing so fast? Like,
Yeah, I'm just
nah,
teaching
babe.
kids, man.
That's why. Like,
It's
fuck off.
proper work, leh.
Yeah. Yeah, I reflect maximum
my
straight away.
God.
And then these motherfuckers I keep in my books. All right. No, lah, I'm kidding, lah. But like,
Vigilante.
like, no, lah, like, walao, like, just, oh man.
Okay, so how would you do with that,
man.
though? Like, would you, when you encounter these people, you like, you know, just
Yeah, no.
fuck out,
So my response like, hey, dude, no, like, you know, don't go there. Don't go there so fast.
right?
Like, it's one thing for, I don't know, man. It's just like, it's like,
You know, just punch them in the face right there and then.
I want to, like I want to hit them so
Like,
bad.
Just to snap them out.
Yeah, like slap the face one time and then just like, hey, dude, go get help, man.
Like,
if your immediate go-to when looking at a child is of a sexual nature, like you need help.
Like, yeah, maybe no one's brought it up to them before.
Yeah.
Then they, you know,
They
it
don't-
perpetuates.
yeah.
Then it becomes a habit.
Yeah.
Then it becomes their personality. Then it becomes their self, right?
Yeah. Correct.
So, yeah, not to physically harm for the sake of physically harming, but just to wake him the fuck up,
Right.
him or her.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So thankfully, I haven't had, you know, interactions like that for years. You know, it's a problem in society. Like, okay, like one of the reasons why just now I went and said that Amos Yee is 21 years old, right, is because there's this weird thing that happens and I notice it in Singapore. Like, it's a big no-no in US and shit like that.
What?
Like high school students with like Sec 1 students, like JC students with like Sec 1, Sec 2 students, 17, 18-year-olds dating 13, 14-year-olds. That's fucked up, right? I feel it's damn iffy, but yet it's damn common.
Right.
I know a lot of my students who tell me they have friends whose boyfriends are like that. Sec 1, Sec 2, the boyfriend 17, 18 years old. Sometimes army boys also. Army boys with like Sec 3, Sec 4. I know the age isn't that far, right?
Because the girls that age can sniff the bullshit.
I think so. I mean, there's that whole thing about guys being immature or more immature than females. So like we're like 4 years behind.
So there is that age discrepancy.
Yeah, correct.
So I think at that age is fine.
Okay.
But then if that same behavior carries on like 5 years down the road,
or like a 24-year-old dating
then
a
it's
16-year-old.
like, okay, you know,
yeah, there's something weird going
jigs
on there.
up. Like, you
but-
go to jail.
Nice. But I swear, even like with to me, right, 18-year-old dating like a 13 or 14-year-old, I'm not comfortable. Like, cause I feel right, this individual has been to two different aspects of like life and you know, sequences in development. Like, you finish secondary school, you go for tertiary education, you finish your tertiary education, you're now moving into army or university level education, and like it's like two phases,
18's a bit too
much, right?
Yeah. Maybe up to 16.
Yeah, okay. I fine. 16, yeah, like a Sec 4, Sec 1,
At that
I think
point,
that's okay.
your social circle also not very big.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's past that point where it's like a bigger social circle already.
Correct. And you
get to meet more people.
exactly, and you're still within the same phase of life. You know, you're like in secondary school. It's like a 30-year-old adult dating a 40-year-old adult. 10 years difference, but it's okay. What we are adults, we are in a working world. It's a
same stage,
same stage, same phase in life. All right, the 30-year-old might be a bit more immature, or
Maybe
vice
super mature,
or maybe
30-year-old.
super mature, then they both match mature. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's a possibility. So I think like, within the same phase of life, that's fine. But then like, if you're going into army already and you're dating a secondary school girl, and that I know that's pretty common. Like I
Really?
not okay. I wouldn't say common as in like it's the norm, it's the majority
Right.
of times that it happens.
It's frequent enough. You've seen it.
Yeah, that's why it's
Okay.
frequent enough to hear about it and to see it for myself. And then I'm like, wow, this is iffy, man. Like, definitely not comfortable with that.
Right.
Because all I have to do, right, is picture myself back and my mental state back in the army and how I was like, right? Because like every girl walk past and I'm like, squirrel. And I'm just like, deprived that shit because you're in camp with all
man.
boys and your testosterone is just spiking because you're training every fucking day. And so the man in you
smell
is
the
like,
man juice.
it's just man juice overflowing, and needs to be that way in an environment like that. I mean, you're going to war, you're going to kill, you're primed for that purpose. So the testosterone is going to kick up like tenfold.
There's that aggression.
And you need that aggression, right?
Yeah. If not, you beta already.
That's why.
Confirm kena bully.
That's why. Either you're gonna bully or really army doesn't fit you, and you
or
need
you just
to
go straight to
stop
Omega.
and- Omega?
Just outcast.
Oh, okay.
There's beta, there's alpha male,
Beta male and
there's
omega. Oh,
It's like it's a very interesting.
okay, I did not know about that. So what, the omega is like what? Just
Omega, it's your lone wolf,
lone wolf. Okay.
which is kind of dangerous. I think that's where a lot of psychopath kind of exist in.
Okay.
Either and they can appear very charismatic.
Yeah, sounds
because
like
they don't play by the rules. They go by do their own stuff.
their own way.
They don't necessarily need to feel like they belong like an alpha because he needs his followers.
Yeah.
Whereas the omega, he can operate alone.
Right.
And he's not beta because he does whatever the fuck he wants.
Right.
It's not like he's bound by this invisible cage.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know why I know about that.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. It's good information.
Yeah.
It's
one of those times, you go down the rabbit hole of YouTube. You just
you
just find
learn
different
more
stuff.
shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Including pedophilia.
Including shit.
No. This is no. We don't serve any of that. We don't serve any of that here.
Fuck that, man. Like, yeah. That like if you, I mean, but in all honesty, if you do feel that sexual attraction or anything like that to younger children or prepubescent,
Infants.
GG that one. Yeah, you need help. Like, go get help, like immediately.
Embryos.
It's might as well zygote already, sperm and egg. Just attracted to sperm and egg. And that's normal human biology, right? Like you have to, how during ovulation
not
females
sexually
appear.
drawn to it though.
You're actually yes. Okay, not the egg lah, but you're sexually drawn to a female who's ovulating.
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying you're not drawn to an embryo.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to say.
There's a new level of what the fuck. Damn. Okay. Yeah. So get help if you need help. Okay. I think we digress. Like what the fuck, but okay. We were talking about 60 minutes, right?
Is this the guy?
Which guy?
There might be no agree.
So this is Village of the Damned. This is another one that I saw. Basically, it's all the sex offenders. So this is another 60-minute documentary that I saw called Trailer Park Entirely Inhabited by Pedophiles and Sex Offenders. So the thing is, like in US, right, once you're a registered sex offender, you have to tell everybody you're a registered sex offender the minute you move into a neighborhood, right? It's a practice that they have there. And there's a sex offender registry where you can just click on the website, go and see who is staying near you that is a sex offender. And so basically they are like heavily, everybody wants to kick them out of town because you don't feel safe, right? You don't feel safe having your children around, walking past this guy's house and, the fact that there's somebody who is a predator of children. Yeah. Or some other form of sex offense lah. And there's this place in US where it's a trailer park just filled with sex offenders. So they all come here and just live here. So that people don't feel shitty about that and they can just like kind of live lah. Yeah.
Right.
And I
So
mean there
do
are
they
some
occasionally like airdrop a 6-year-old kid in the middle of the trailer park.
Shit, that scene, that
That's
image
a
though.
great B horror right there.
That's it right there. All right, horrifying. Yeah, so anyway, like in this trailer park, there are those that completely guilty and ashamed of what they've done and they know that they've done wrong. And then some people, they perfectly okay with it. You know, there's this one guy, I mean, if you all want to check out the documentary, there's this one guy who just says like, watching is nothing wrong. You know, if I own child pornography, there's nothing wrong with that, right? I'm just looking. But
okay,
yeah, you see, these individuals don't understand that if you support the industry and there's a demand, then there will be a supply. And also, if you're feeding into these things, then yeah, it's just the energy, man, of doing something like that. But anyway, in this other 60-minute documentary, I think they call themselves the righteous pedo or the honest pedos or some shit like that lah. But it's a group and community of individuals who know that they are pedophiles. They know that they are sexually attracted to children, but they cannot come out and talk about it because there's just too much danger for them. There's supposed to be patient confidentiality and all that lah, but you never know if somebody feels that, like if let's say the psychologist feels that you are actually a threat to society and then they report you to the police or something like that. You know, there's always that fear. So I think these individuals, they don't want to seek help. They don't want to talk to anybody about, I mean, they have their own community where they talk about these things lah. And their job is to do what like the guardian angels are doing lah, which is to protect, go online, find all these pedophiles, these chat rooms and all that, and try and nip it in the bud, right? And try and stop and protect the innocent. So back to all the way when you mention, like, fuck, digress so far, man, like whether or not it's a behavior that they can control. It is, right? I mean, if you have individuals like this that can understand that they are sexually attracted to kids and that they want to do something about it and be righteous about it and help or whatever. And so the interview had this guy talking and then like asking him if he ever did anything, how does he deal with it, you know, what he would do and things like that lah. The dude in the interview talked about how he noticed he was attracted to young boys back when he was a young boy. Like when he was 8, 12, you know, he'd be attracted to 8, 12-year-olds. But then as he moved up into 16, he's still attracted to, you know, boys of that age. When he moved up into his 20s, he was still attracted to boys at that age. So that's when he knew that something was wrong. And he tried to figure it out and he tried to realize it. And then now he's doing something about it by fighting the good fight. Yeah. So I think it's a choice. And Amos Yee is a pretty, I don't know, stupid or smart fella, but I'm sure he's conscious of
his
it.
Own good.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know where to put this guy. I mean, like what he did in Singapore, that whole challenging political structure, the government, and that whole religion thing. I mean, it was pretty smart lah. For if your sole goal is to prove that Singapore will use whatever means to persecute you on a political basis, even if it means they declare it's not a political basis. So that's what he proved in the US court. He proved that Singapore went after him with the whole sedition act of religion and of insulting religion and race and all that. They prosecuted him with that act, but it was actually based off a political agenda because no other person in Singapore has been prosecuted so heavily with the Sedition Act, even though their crimes are as atrocious or even though their crimes are infringing on the Sedition Act. And it was actually because of that whole shit he said about Lee Kuan Yew being finally dead, you know, after his death, making that whole video. And that's what pissed the government off. And he managed to prove that in a court of law in US, right? And that's why they granted him asylum.
He's the troll of the highest order.
Yeah, he's just and now his defense, right? I read in the article,
I think
that his
thing.
defense is going with the fact that he's an internet troll, that he just does this shit, that he trolls society constantly. I really don't know whether he's gonna get away with this shit, man.
He is the Joker. He is the Joker of our time.
So I want to see like what the fuck happens in this case lah, with this whole thing, because America and this whole sex offense and pedophile thing is
serious shit.
Yeah, it's like their cultural prosecution, like their maximum. Don't do it.
You go into prison and people find out you're a sex offender. You are
GG, dead, man. You're fucked. You fucking get like your victims' names like carved into your skin with knives. You get raped, you get battered and bruised, and yeah, it's a nightmare if they find out you're a sex offender, especially of children.
Worse than dead.
Yeah. You wish you were dead. You wish you were dead. And so, like, I can't help but notice this Amos asshole, right? He's like, so he's gonna be an asshole in our society. In our society, he purposely target the things that our biggest no-no. Our biggest no-no, I feel, is religion and politics.
Politics for sure.
Politics
like
for
sensitive
sure.
issues regarding politics.
Yeah.
Confirm you don't touch. Right?
Yeah, you don't touch. You scared, right? If you touch, government slap you left, right, center, fine.
Including the guy who ran up to him and gave him a tight slap. Remember that shit?
Right, I remember that shit. That was classic, man.
Yeah.
Fucked up because like back then, I think Amos was like 17, 16.
Yeah,
like it was a grown ass man.
Idea.
Went over and slapped him.
Like how we want to slap the pedophile.
Yep. Yeah, kind of actually, in that way.
Because for you know the guy got charged. He had to go to jail.
Oh, for slapping Amos Yee, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Then when he was in the courts, he actually wrote down a statement in Mandarin.
Okay.
Saying he was educating Amos Yee as an elder, as someone elder who knows like the societal norm in Singapore you should follow.
Right.
Like, and then you have this guy on the internet just like going against everything on that list. Yeah,
licking the Quran lah, having like humping the Bible and Quran and all that shit.
So this guy just took it in his own hands and slapped the shit out of him.
Warrior of God right there.
The bitch slap is real, man.
Man, I remember that video. I watched it like 1,000 times, I think. But I can't help but notice now he's going into another society, right? And challenging their biggest taboo, their biggest no-no, which is US and this whole pedophilia thing, right? Because, I mean, look at the way like, documentaries come out like about Jeffrey Epstein and the way they treat sex offenders in US. Yeah, this is definitely their big no-no, right? So
he's just going into like different societies and just fucking shit up.
Yeah, challenging it, like challenging that social norm and why you cannot do this, and just or why this is not right.
So it's just a dissident through and through.
Yeah, for the sake of it. I mean, wonderful if that's his calling in life, then he's found his calling lah. But it's quite, I mean, it's very self-destructive. It's I mean, you're putting yourself in serious danger and harm. Also, by doing. I mean,
it's okay. Then we put an abnormal psych lens on this issue.
Right.
Like, is Amos a victim here of certain psychological disorder?
Okay. Yeah, so back to like when he was a child star and all that, right? It does get to you, once you're...
So the whole Britney Spears...
like once you gain some level of popularity. Yeah, man. Right, imagine Amos Yee growing up in primary school and secondary school. Everybody will recognize him, right? You're doing movies and shit, like actual movies in Singapore.
Right.
So...
And he was already very outspoken when he was young.
Yeah. He was very smart, very intelligent also, right? I think there were, I remember reading an article about all the awards he won and stuff like that.
Right.
So he's a brilliant kid growing up,
Did the
academically smart.
The pressure to be someone brilliant. Like, because when you're young, you start winning,
Right.
you start winning all these awards, trophies.
Right.
Then there's that expectation the adults give you.
Right.
Like, wow, this guy's so smart, this boy's so smart. Like, you're gonna be somebody great in life
Right.
when
Right.
you grow up.
Yeah.
Because you can, already do like advanced calculus when
Right.
you're 5 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean that pressure would definitely get to an individual. It's heavy, man. To
Yeah, especially at that young an age.
yeah, that young an age.
When you're not armed with like coping
Yeah.
mechanism.
Yeah. And maybe there was a point in his life where, like, he was pressured so much into becoming this norm, this like because if you're really successful by that age, then you're going to have a lot of people telling you what you should be doing, what you should go into, and how you should plan your career and your future and all that. And what happens if, like, you just say no to that at that age? Being as intelligent as you are, being as clever as you are, you just
wisdom.
Yeah, without the wisdom and realization that this is going to cause some serious problems, right, and is destructive and all of that, and then you just go, no, fuck it, I won't do what.
I'll just go against every
single thing that
I've heard.
Yeah, and everything that, and point out every single piece of bullshit that this society has, right? That's
so is it
about
that
this
one
society.
Of self autonomy? Like, I want to decide for my own.
Yeah.
Because at that age, with so many pairs of eyes on you, there's so many expectations. People kind of like chart your path already. Then you as a respectful person who has some dignity, he will be like, hey, I want to do my own stuff, I don't want to be told what to do.
Right.
Then he just
went off the rails with it.
He just went against the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, I when he first started that whole religion and political thing, I honestly admired him. Right? Because to me, from my perspective, this is Jeremy Matthew, okay? But yeah, to me, I also find that religion has an unfair veil just shrouded all over it. Like, why can't we talk about a belief system here? Why can't we put a belief system open to discussion and discourse in the right way? Yes, it can. And nobody's saying that you can't do it in the right way.
His
you can.
execution was just
okay. Amos Yee's execution was deliberately to offend. Just push all the buttons he can, right? But I feel that that's not how I want to go about it or what I want to do, because you don't get any proper information across like that. You just offend people. You just make people angry. Nobody's gonna want to look at you, right?
You do, because you go about it nicely. Nobody gonna give any attention.
There's that also. Yeah, nobody's gonna give any attention to somebody who's rational, who's trying to have a proper discourse. But at the same time, in our society, that's severely lacking. And people have this very, no, let's not talk about it, right? The minute you bring up religion or something like that, people try to stay away from it. Unless it's people people that you're close to and all of that.
It's not a dinner table topic.
Yeah, it's not a dinner table topic, but I would like it to be. Right, I would like it to be open for discussion. Right. People not afraid to talk about it. People not afraid to look at the fallacies behind religion or or for religious people. Okay, you see, it's a problem for the non-religious people, because if you're religious, you can talk about it all you want. You can evangelize all you want. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah,
right?
But then it's like very one-sided.
Okay, so back to what I was saying about Amos Yee. I when he first did that thing, I wanted, I saw the merit in what he was doing, challenging, but although in a very messed up, aggressive manner. Politics wise, I'm quite happy with the state our politics is in. For Singapore to function, to have, our safety, our foreign direct investments and all that, you need a very stable political climate. So, I'm living in this country, I'm earning money, I'm safe, super safe.
Pretty well taken care
of. Taken care of. So I honestly don't have that much issues with that in terms of, but I see the problems in not being able to discuss political
Right.
structure.
It trickles down
and,
into society.
yeah, it does. It does have
Like
its effect.
into culture.
And how that's going to affect our progression into the future. So when we look at political systems, or if we want to discuss certain practices and things like that, it's going to be very difficult to handle these topics if there's a veil over it. Yeah.
Then that kind of avoidant thing
Yeah,
becomes a mode of operation.
that's why. And a social norm.
Yeah.
You know?
Like when you got an issue you want to talk about that's important, but
Yeah.
it's sensitive.
Yeah.
You would rather just hide it and not talk about it.
Yeah. Which
Then
is a
there's
recipe
no-
for disaster.
Yeah, there's no grounds to open up and discuss about it and solve the actual problem.
That's why.
And then the problem ends up perpetuating. And,
Yeah,
and
or
then
maybe
doesn't
even
get solved.
getting worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why. That's why I'm okay with that lah. But then now he comes and pull this shit about pedophilia in the US, justifying and saying that it's an individual's right to love and all that. But yeah, I think this one's like clear cut lah. You're harming. You're not making society a better place. You are. It's really, really detrimental to an individual or who's a child. You know, to do that to a child, that's just beyond fucked up. And
Yeah, but that's the role. That's the role of the Joker.
correct.
You know, I think it was an Alan Watts discussion. I mean, that's his role in society, to bring up all these issues,
Right.
be it in a good or bad way. It gets into society's awareness, and then it starts solving it because there's awareness of it.
Right.
Like if the politics thing did not emerge, then people wouldn't know about it, and people who've been suppressed enough, they don't even know what the situation is, or like how much people are hiding, how much people are not talking about.
Right.
But because of this guy, it suddenly became a thing. Like people are aware that people are very avoidant of certain issues, taboo subjects are something you shouldn't talk about.
Yep.
And how the one party state, it kind of stifles certain development of the country, that
Right.
kind of stuff.
Right.
So yeah, in this case, when he brings up the issue of pedophilia in the US,
Mhm.
maybe they will start dealing with it.
In
Maybe,
a better,
yeah,
more
they will start
effective manner.
dealing
Yeah.
with it in
Perhaps.
a better frame.
Yeah. Then I'm like wondering why the hell did he have to put. I mean, he could have challenged it without actually doing it. Without actually, I don't know, man. Like without
He got
actually.
a bit of he got a sprinkle of being a martyr.
Yeah. I guess that's his thing. Like he had to put that, the martyr in him, and doing like he had to lick that Bible. He had to hum the Quran and do all that shit. So maybe this one, that's why he engaged in this chat with this 14-year-old girl.
So maybe he's not even people.
Maybe
He's just playing the part of it.
Maybe. Who knows? Maybe he even got this girl to like play along with him, and when the case finally breaks open and then they reveal some bullshit like this was all orchestrated, and I don't know lah.
I don't think anybody would believe at that point.
Yeah, I
Like with this guy's track record, like he's a troll.
Yeah.
Like,
Thank you for listening. That was part 1, so stay tuned for part 2. We will come back with some more scary stuff. Goodbye.